Next question will begin with Mr. Prado. Please state your opinion of the idea of allowing the developer who owns the property across from City Hall for a 10-story high-rise building in exchange for a center for the performing arts.
Okay, this is something that has to be really looked into, and we have to negotiate and do the investigation, see how this building is going to affect the community. I believe the key word here is participation from the community. We need to do this completely in collaboration with the community. If the majority of the public or the residents agree that this is something good for the community, in exchange, anything that comes from the community brings something good and something bad. We already know that. But we have to do, as long as we do it with the community consent, we'll be okay and safe with that.
Thank you. Ms. Yarbrough-Gauthier?
I too agree that before making that decision, it would be important to speak with the community and see what the community would want or what would be best for the city. If it's a performing arts building that is going to be best for the community, then we'll do that. But if the 10-story building is something that's going to add to our economic basis and help add to the city, then that would be the best way to go. But opening it up to the community is important.
Thank you. Mr. Evans?
One of the things you learn when you represent people, you don't put people in position to be exposed to anything that may compromise them. This is an absurd proposal. I can't comment on it because I don't know what it means. To compliment on you, kind of laying fuel to it. Once I see what it looks like, what you're talking about, I can probably reject what you got now because that's not going to work. But as a representative of people, I have to have enough common sense to make people, when they come to build something to people I represent, they have to tell me more than that. It's hypothetical and you're wasting my time. Thank you.
Ms. Rutherford.
When developers have property here in East Palo Alto, it has to come before the council. It has to come before the Planning Commission. There's a process that takes place. So it would be wise for the community to come together, to come out to hear what is being proposed and give input. The council also looks at the bigger picture and decides, is this best for the community or is this not going to be a good idea? A cultural center is wonderful. I think there's other places in the community to put it. However, one example, the Ecumenical Hunger Program had property on Pocus, and they wanted to put their business there, and it was in a redevelopment area, and the redevelopment area said that they didn't want it. It didn't fit. They were going to sue us, and we said, no, we're not. That's not going to happen. This is their property. They need to develop it. They make that area attractive. They've been in the community forever, and it's there today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moody.
You know, it's very traditional when developers come to a community that they would offer some level of contribution to help fill a gap or fill a need for a community. You know, last evening I had the pleasure of being at the East Palo Alto Senior Center, an event sponsored by the Rotary Club, and I saw a group of young people who were participating in the talent show. Those are the types of individuals we need to be thinking for down the road, to create a platform and environment where they can perform in their own community. And more importantly, that we can connect ourselves regionally to begin attracting performers and plays and operas and things of that nature so we can become culturally significant in East Palo Alto and not have to be spending all our entertainment dollars in other communities. I think it's very typical for developers to come and try to find out where's the gap for the community and what can I as a developer do to make that, to help fill that gap and fill that need.
No applause, please. Thank you. Ms. Martinez.
I'm looking out for our city. I would follow the process, look at the pros and cons, and of course listen to the public, listen to input. I happen to know a local nonprofit organization that is interested in providing a music and arts center or building. They're campaigning, they're fundraising for this now. As someone who grew up here and knows the city, I think this would benefit the city. But again, this is something that the question, I would want more background information, but it's important to look at the pros and cons and listen to community input to see if this is the best thing for us.
Thank you. Mr. Huerta.
as far as building a 10-story building across the street, I'd be wary of the precedent. If you let one developer build a 10-story building, others can build a 10-story building. So that would start growing in throughout the city. So it would really be up to the community. And just to give it up for one community performing arts center, you still have to look at what community benefits the residents have wanted, the requirements for the city, and the actuals of it. Back in 2000 or 1999, a developer wanted to put a 5-story building there, and neighbors just in the village were able to stop it because of the shadow that building would cast on, this larger building would cast on their properties, and that state law, they were able to stop it. So I don't think it would be good for the city. I don't think the residents have liked that something like that. So I'd be very wary about that.
Thank you.